Howdy, howdy, howdy. We are back, fish folks, and we are ready to do some more work. But I have spotted a small issue we are going to have. So, right off the hop, need you all to go ahead and grab this piece, this piece, this piece. Alright, we're going to Control J. Just for now, we're going to attach them. Hopefully it doesn't cause us more issues later. We're just going to move it down a little bit. And the reason being is we need our axles to be down here where we are. So hopefully we'll be able to make the adjustment in the transmission so that we'll be able to make it match up. But we'll see what we can do. Actually, these can cut back just a hair. There we go. Alright, grab this piece. How are we going to do this? We're going to have to grab this end. So maybe drag out your mouse like that, like I did. And we'll do the same over here. Grab as many of those edges as you can. Make sure you got them all in a perfect circle, all the pieces all the way around. Go down. And let's see if we can make this work. Now we may have to change those faces up there, but we just don't want to change the ones at the very front. Because if we do, we're going to cause some more issues, as you probably know. So let's just adjust a few things. Grab the lines, and let's just take the angle out of that so it doesn't look so terrible. Maybe we'll go back on that, and we'll try adjusting it a little bigger, because that didn't look great either. So grab right there to over here. Alright, once you have them, just go ahead and lower. Just trying to take the painful angle out of it and try and make it a little smoother. Perfect. And we'll do the same on the top, but we'll go down with it. So Control and bring it down. And just make it make a little more sense, right? We just want to get rid of the hard angles and make it a little nicer. Doesn't look too bad. And now we've got our axles way lower, which we're going to need, right? Otherwise, our car would have had a really super high sense of center of balance. You might even want to go down a little more. That's going to be up to you. Alright. So, now, we should be pretty close to ground level. So, any other adjustments we need to make with our axle, we should be able to make a front I don't know what do you want to call it. It's not an axle. It's more like a riding thing, like a harness or something. I'll show you. Let's make it. Sorry again, I don't know the names of this stuff. I'm not that much of a car guy. I like cars, I enjoy them, but I just don't care that much. I'd rather be making them, if anything. That's the fun part. I'm sure you all agree with that. Alright, what do we got here? So, essentially, what we're going to make is something like this, and it's going to be around the same height as the other axle, except we're going to have to go up a little bit, but we have to avoid our transmission, right? So make sure you're away from it on all sides. You can put some little brackets in there if you want to mount it to your transmission. To hold it there, we could put some of our screws that we used before into the bottom. No big deal. No problem. Now, I'm just going to have to be kind of clever here how we do this next part. A few different ways we can do it, of course, like always, but we'll try this way. Okay, what I'm going to want to do is we probably want to be about in the middle of this piece for height. And it looks like we're a little bit off. Let's check again. I'm just letting go of it every time for I don't have to try to put it back after. Actually, it looks like it's about right. So in the middle of that, we should be able to make a mounting system for our front tires off of this frame. And it should work pretty good for us, I think. I'm going to Shift E that one, and we'll go ahead and I always forget these things. I think it's this one. Let's try. Yes, it is. Perfect. Grab the both. Grab the middle one. Control J. We have one movable piece. I think you're starting to see where I'm going with this movable piece. I right-click to put it back. Alright. It's right in the middle, I think. But we can cheat a little bit. Like that. We can go Shift D. And it took an extra piece with us, but that's fine. And we'll hit P, selection. And we'll flip out of there, and we'll grab it. Oops, click off. If we can find it now, if we can grab the right one. That's the right one. You can just drag it up. Make sure it gets into the right spot, right? We have an extra piece there that we need to get rid of. So let's drag it back. We're still on the same axis. And we're just going to go L. L. Should grab the whole thing. Then P. Selection. I'm going to get out of there. I should be able to grab it separately. We're just going to delete it. So now we have exactly the same axle on exactly the same height spread up onto our new piece. Problem, we can't go through our engine block, right? So let's go ahead and change these a little bit. And I don't think we want to attach the front end with one of these after all, but I think we will just use it to give us a marker of exactly where the front of our tire is going to be. Maybe we can use it for a piece of the tire. Maybe we'll replace it. We'll see. I'm just going to leave it there as like a marker to say this is exactly where you want the center of your tire to be when you attach it, because it's going to be the same as the back if you do that. We're going to have to cover the distance a little bit, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Probably make it a second one, or I guess I could have left that. Let's go back. Let's do that because it has the right height for us already, and then we just have to match a couple other things. So just undo until it's back to the original length, and just leave it there for now. We're going to use that as a marker to help us make our front axle. Alright? So, what have we done? We fixed our transmission. We're going to have to bump those forward a little bit. We were forced to attach a bunch of things, but just for now we can disattach them if you want to write down their chords when you disattach them. And we'll just use the same method where we click on everything, we go to tab, we L to highlight, then we P to separate. We just do selection. Not a big deal, I'm not going to do it there, but you get the idea. It's just a little easier to move the whole thing around like this to be able to control our design a little bit easier. So we have our front markers. How are we going to do this? We need to make a upper and lower connection, like a ball joint basically, sort of thing, where we're going to tie into like a steering column type thing, and then the steering column is going to have to be attached to the driver part. Geez, this one's complicated, isn't it, guys? That's probably why you're watching this one, because you're going, how is he even going to do this crap? Does he even know? No, I don't. I don't know. Figuring it out. Alright. Spread this out. Try to make it the same width as that. Obviously that's wrong, so we're just going to fix that a little bit. Let's drag it up, because we're going to shrink it this way. And I'm going to make it go this way. Okay, I think you may be starting to understand what I'm doing here and where this may be headed. Maybe you're not, which is fine. But I think you will once I get there. So, same shape, it's a little too long, so let's just fix that first. And it has to be just pretty much the same. It doesn't have to be exact. The better, the closer you get, the better it's going to be, obviously, but it's going to be hard to do that without going the whole way through and cutting it. And you can use that method if you need to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to give you an example. You're going to be up to you to make it exact same size. I am going to do a good effort to get there, though. One more, maybe, and then move out a hair. Alright, we're pretty much exactly the same. We might be a little bit off, but you get the idea. Switch to faces. Switch to scale. And scale this face down. Ooh. Okay, that's okay, actually. Alright, and we'll go ahead and Shift D. Nope, that was wrong. So we'll undo. Oops, I went too far. We'll shrink that back down. You can redo if you just want to. Okay, and what are we going to do with this exactly, guys? This will work. I just got to think about this. Shift D, we'll do it again. No, actually, let's delete that. No, let's do it. Shift D, and then we're going to shrink it. I'm sorry about that. Again, we're doing this live together, so this is not rehearsed clearly. And, okay, we're just going to try to punch evenly out of either side a little shape. So it's just going to give our part a bit more texture, basically, make it look more real, like it's actually a harness of some sorts, a holder, a bracket. I'm not sure the exact name of the part I'm looking to name here, but I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom, make sure it's nice and level on the bottom. And it's basically going to do the same thing as the back. The back's going to have an axle, but the front's going to have like it's kind of like an axle, but it goes around your engine, and it has a bit more involved. Like you could have sway bars, tire rod ends, lots more involved in the front end because it turns as well, right? And we have to have a way for it to turn. So we'll explain that as we go, but I think we can go ahead and attach this and this to that as long as it's all together and it fits. No, let's not do that again. So we need to make sure we have the same thing on the other side. So let's Shift D, grab the bottom one, Shift D, grab them both, and I think I can only do one at a time, actually. We're going to add a minus here. Alright, and we'll do the same up here. Alright, and then we're going to flip them. So we're just going to do 180. Nope, that did not do it. Let's go 0 there. Go 180 here. Yeah, that'll do it. Alright, 180 here. Alright, perfect. Now we have the pieces where we need them for our attachment. Now if you need to, you can move these a bit more into the center to give our part a better look, and we will shrink that down just a hair, just like that. Okay, just to give it a better look. Obviously you could do it on the same thing on this side. Grab it, just shrink it down a little bit. Oh, you know what, that one's, oh no, that's fine, that's fine. And then we'll just center it a bit more. Perfect. Oh no, I think I just moved things and I can't do that. I can move these, but I can't move the bottom ones. My bad. Otherwise we're going to change our positions and mess everything up. So, grab all 4 of them. Grab your frame and Control J. And it's 1. We can now delete this piece, which was just a marker to keep us on track. So now we've gotten our front end developed a little bit more. We've kind of got things figured out up here. We are going to attach by pin and bolt, by nut and bolt. So maybe this would be the time to make a little bit more of a sophisticated nut for you guys. I think I've been saying for a while I've been going to, but then I never actually did, so let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, we're going to start off with a square. Yeah, no, it's a square. Why would I use a square? Click your square, go to edit mode, click on edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and Shift B, Control B, sorry. And when you get your nut shape, stop. This one's really easy. You probably didn't think of this though, I bet. And then just go stop. And we have our nut head. We have the shape of a nut. If you need it a little more twisted or a little more even, you just use an extra vertice, but I think you get the idea, and I think it works rather well. Let's actually go back and not move that to the side, just move it straight up, and then we are going to hit Shift A, and we are going to make a cylinder. We're going to end this video pretty soon because I'm getting worn out. I made like 5 videos today, and 4 of them were on engines, and every one of them was super hard. I know, you don't feel bad for me. It's fine. Alright, let's go a little farther than that, and we'll adjust it down. Alright, we have our bolt. Go ahead. If you're happy with the proportions, maybe you want this a little smaller and your head a little bigger, which is fine. Go ahead and join to the head, and we're joined, and then we're going to use these as control pins to hold our pieces on that we're going to make next. Move them into place, make sure they're perfectly even, start shrinking because they can't obviously be that big until it makes sense for your pins to hold your next part on. And that way you can remove these pins with a wrench or whatever your game calls for, and be able to make it attachable or disattachable. And I can't do that, can I? Am I on an axis? Let's see. Let's try adding a 0 down here. Minus, sorry. And then doing a 180 here. And it's exactly the opposite, but it's way too high. So let's just move it down. Okay, when you're happy, that's the right position. I think we're going to still have to shrink these a little bit. I don't know if I can do them both at the same time. They'll probably go different directions, but we'll just move them back into place. At least they did together, right? And again, make them the size you need. That's going to depend on how much you want to hang out here. I want that much to hang out. So I'm going to Shift D when I'm happy. And move that down a little bit. And then I'm going to Shift D on the top when I'm happy. And I move that up a little bit. Alright, and then we're going to take this. And, oh no, we joined a lot of pieces for this one. I hope this frame doesn't come apart when we do our holes, but we'll try. Shift D. We might not be able to put a pilot hole in here. Let's do this one, I think it is. Where the heck did it just go? Nope. Let's just delete it. And we'll do a different one. Or I guess we could just go. Is it that one? No, that was the right one. Okay, so let's get rid of that minus. Boom, got it. Alright, sorry about that. And we're just going to do the same with this. What's the top one, I think, that we had to get rid of the minus. Alright, so we're going to Shift D, bring it down a little bit. Take that one, Shift D, just in case this works, we'll be able to put a hole straight into our frame, and then we'll be able to put our bolts in to attach our parts on the next part. So let's give it a try, and hopefully it works. Oh yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. I should have attached those pieces first. Just I had to move them all, so let's try the other bool tool and do this difference and see if we can fix it up a bit. What did that do? It should be like this, I believe, and one's still there for some reason. Oh my god, what a mess. let's go back before we get trapped. If we do too much of this, we're going to end up getting trapped in a spot we can't go back from because we clicked on too many different things. So let's just see if we can get back from this and recover. We might already be too messed up. Alright, so there's probably going to be only one way to do this, and we're going to have to just use the bolts in there, and you'll let's try to see if we can pull this back apart. Maybe if I don't know this, I don't know if this is the answer or not. We might be able to pull these pieces apart. Maybe we can test on these, because I think we just need those two apart to be actually. So let's try this and see what happens when we bool and see if it, yeah, that worked. So let's just do that then to make our bools work. Whew, we found a solution, guys. Sorry about that. And again, I didn't really know if that was going to work or not. And then we'll just move our other bolts into the hole. Should be really easy, just got to match the height wise. And now leave these separated for you can make them interactable. Let's just do the same over here. So click off everything. In edit mode, push L, P, selection. Click back in edit mode, or off of edit mode, click the piece you want. Tab, off of everything, L, P, selection. Done. Alright, so we'll click on that, we'll click this, we'll click that, and we'll bool tool. Alright, and then we'll just have to reattach it after. I didn't know this was going to work. I'm really glad we found a solution. And we're learning together, guys, and that was pretty awesome. Alright, we'll move that bolt back down now. So these we're going to leave like on the other side. We're going to leave them removable. They're going to be basically a pin to hold the next part of our tires in. If you need these to flex, you can leave them separated and maybe put a bolt this way if you like to make it for it can go up and down. Or if you want to make these changeable, you can just use this hole here to put some bolts through that way. You may have to separate these pieces, but it's not a big deal to do it, as you already know. So we'll go ahead, grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that. We'll rejoin them, and now we are set up in our front end. And maybe we'll stop there for this video, and we will come back and do some more work on the front end and the back end, and we'll try to get some tires on the vehicle maybe, or something like that. We can maybe work on the exhaust. Let me know what you guys want. Remember to like, subscribe, thumbs up. If you click in my description, there should be a link to my game. If you click on my channel, it's also there. If you'd like to see more videos, go to my channel and check it out. And thanks for coming to have some fun with Fishy. Peace, guys.